What's up, party people? G5 Productions back at it again, and today I'm going to show you guys one of the ways I streamline my DJ setups. Let's get it. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to G5 Productions. I'm Gerald, and today we're going to get into a quick how to streamline your desktop setup. I use a DMX controller and I put a power conditioner on my desktop. What I'm going to do is mount these two together permanently so that it's just a little bit less process in my setup. I'm always looking for ways that if I could save 5 seconds on doing something, I will, so today is all about that DMX controller and that power conditioner mounting. Let's get into our build. But before we do, I would love for you guys to hit that like button. Don't forget to share, subscribe to our channel, and of course turn on the bell so that you guys are notified every time G5 Productions put out new content. Let's get it. So there it is, party people. We are working with a lot of stuff thingies. Everybody, let's inventory our 2 stuff thingies. We have a couple of screwdrivers, some gaff tape, drill bits, a mechanical pencil, clamps, a drill, and some wood pieces that I had cut out. I went and took a wood shop class. Well, it looks like I made the cut. I got a couple of spares, so that way if I mess one set up, I got another one to go at it again. And over here we have a DMX controller. This is the DMX Operator 384 by American DJ. This is by Monster, and this is the Pro 900. I've got 8 plugs on the back of it and 2 plugs on the front of it, so that's very convenient. I use a lot of wireless lights, so I do have a flare con right here. And then this duffel bag here is where I house the power strip, the DMX controller, as well as the flare con. And the reason I do that is because, one, it's very lightweight. Everything fits in there. So sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I might throw in a couple of DeFi hubs, or basically whatever goes on my desktop, I might throw it in the bag with the DMX controller and the power strip. What I would like to do is have the DMX controller rest just like this. Have a nice, neat setup. When I'm done at the end of the evening, I just want to be able to pick this up as one big unit and put it away. So giving you guys a close look at a particular set of stuff thingies here. These are rack mount screw anchors. There you go. So what they do is they take your standard rack mount screws and allow you to just put that in place right there. And these are what we're going to use to anchor the DMX controller and the power strip to the wood. Quick history on these anchor mounts. I've had these little guys since I was a kid. I used to have a Black Widow speaker that I purchased. It was a subwoofer, and I custom built a box, and I would put these in the box to hold the subwoofer in place, because if you drill screws right into wood and that subwoofer get to pumping, over time it's just going to come loose and your subwoofer is going to be hanging out the box. So there it is. So I cut this in a way that the front edge of the wood lines up with the front edge of the DMX controller. Just simply take my pencil here and draw a hole, aligning each one of these through the DMX controller. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm pretty much done with that. So what I'm going to do here is make sure the wood is aligned with the bottom and outside edge of the power conditioner here, and then draw the holes accordingly. Get these clamps so I can make a nice sturdy base. This will help hold it up so I can drill onto the top of it. I wanted to get you a close-up here, so what I'm going to try to do is eyeball and mark the very center of these holes. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little screwdriver. I don't have a punch or anything like that. I'm going to put it right in there, get this in there, and turn it. It's going to give me a base for starting my drill so it doesn't go all over the place and have this whopped hole all over. That one might be fun right there. I think I'm pretty close to the eye of the wood, so we'll see what happens. I am a little bit concerned about how close these holes are to the bottom here, but we're going to put it together and see what happens. I'm going to take some gaff tape here, and I'm going to put it around the edge of the drill bit where I want to stop drilling. I'm going to start with a smaller drill bit here, and then once the hole is piloted, I'm going to come back in with a larger drill bit. And now we're going to drill into the top side. All right, here it is important to note not to try to drill straight down, but what I have to do is drill according to the angle where the DMX, so my screws sit flush on top of the DMX controller. And to assist with that idea, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prop this up with a piece of wood here. until this is, mostly straight. Now I'm gonna go ahead and change out the drill bit. That was a little bit too close to the bottom edge here, because once I open up with the bigger drill bit, you can see that the wood started to chip away and split. We'll still keep on going and see what happens though. So the next step here is go ahead and put the anchor mounts right there in place. I just realized I didn't bring a hammer out here, so I'm gonna take it back to the Stone Ages. Since I only had 6 of these anchor mounts anyway, the DMX controller will be mounted up here. The power conditioner will be mounted down here. So I'm going to go get some more rack mount screws, take that washer off, and I'm going to put that washer on top and use a regular black screw to go right into here and into the wood. You guys like my hammer? I don't want to mount metal to metal, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some gaff tape and overlay this, so at least I have some kind of protection for the DMX controller paint underneath there. I got some regular wood screws here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plastic washer, I'm going to run this screw right through it, and then through the power conditioner. And on the other side of the power conditioner, I'm going to run a second plastic washer just to make up for the gap that's there, because the mounting bracket that I nailed in place there does create a gap. Now I'm just going to screw that right into the wood, and hopefully everything works out there. I need 2 more plastic washers, so I went and got some rack mount screws here, and we're just going to strip these off and use those to go behind. Alright, looks like everything worked out so far with that. I want to talk about how this is going to help me streamline my desktop setup. The first way it's going to help me is that it'll all be together, as you can see here, right? The next way it's going to help me out is I no longer have to plug in the DMX power here and then plug it in down here. I could actually leave that like that, and again, that's 1 unit, and because I use a lot of wireless technology, all I have to do is plug in the flare con, put the DMX cable in, and of course the flare con already has its cabling already butted up. That's a pretty streamlined setup. If I do decide to use any lighting on the table, I could power the first light from the unit into a moving head and then run daisy chain power over to the next moving head or something like that. And for DMX control, I just simply come out of the flare con into the first moving head, and a DMX cable runs over to the next moving head on the right. Given that this video is about streamlining my desktop setup, I got this Velcro strip that I'm going to dedicate to this setup. I'm going to put it around the cable just like so, leaving a little bit of room so that I could slide this up and down the cable and move it about. All I have to do now is once I roll it up, I could just simply take my Velcro and put it around there. That's a lot faster and more efficient. So even when I take this apart to go use it, you can see that now I don't have to get that twisted up. And of course, to have my desktop neat, I could just simply roll this just like that. And believe me, on your desktop on a black tablecloth, that'll be out of sight, out of mind anyway. When everything's over with, time to put it up, just pull that, voila, we're ready to rock and roll. So let's go ahead again and get this all put together so you guys can see how fast the recovery is. And again, I don't have to unplug the DMX controller, as you can see here. these cables were wrapped around the power brick for the DMX controller with the Velcro strap, and I decided I want to do something to make this look a little bit neater. So I got a couple of more Velcro strips, and I'm going to make this fasten itself in a way around this part of the cable where one, that's a little more hidden, this look a little bit neater. Okay, so part number one of the redesign here, no matter which way I pull the big cable, I wanted to make sure that I absolutely have no pull or tug on this cable. So I want a little bit of slack here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my end that plugs into the back of the DMX controller and do the same thing. So let's go ahead and secure those ends down really nice and really snug. On another end, get a second Velcro strip here and wrap it around. So basically I'm taking the remaining of the cable, going to the loop here, and I'm just going to double loop until all that cable is pretty much sized down to right there. And so now that we got that all squared away, I'm going to just adjust a little bit like that. And my plan is to take all of the loops on this end of the cable. I'm going to run this Velcro strip through here. And now I'm going to begin to wrap this end around. So of course that's going to make that look a lot neater. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite end here. And I'm trying to make sure everything is as flush as I can get it. Also, I don't want any too much twisting and kinking and stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and run this through the end of the loop, just like so. So now what I have is still got a bundle of cable here, but it's running against one, another power cable, and two, it's going to look a lot neater and a little bit less exposed. For GP, I'm going to take this one and right around the middle of this, I'm just going to go ahead and do that, just to help contain the middle of this whole bundle a little bit better. So no matter which way I move this cable, I have a nice neat end right there, and it blends in really good. Again, in most cases I'm on top of a black tablecloth, but even if I'm on a white tablecloth, kind of like this table is, you can see that looks a lot neater than all of that cable just rocked out up against the power brick there. So there it is, everybody. You guys just saw me rock it out once again. I just mounted my DMX controller to a power strip that helps streamline my desktop setup. I would love to know what you guys are doing out there. So share all your comments, your tips, and your tricks in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this build right here. In the meantime, don't forget to hit that like button, share it, subscribe, and turn on that bell so that you guys are notified every time we release new content. I'm Gerald with G5 Productions, DJ Sound and Lighting, where you can count on fun and professionalism. Let's party.